mkienda kwa studio zenu mtakuwa na la kuongelea. Because His Excellency has 5 representatives that can cut across, all that you understand this deep sea where
ambazo tumefanya vile walinunua dawa worth 20 billion. They made a lot of mambo ya kura led by you already had an executive. Some of the mentioned them nyinyi mnawajua, like this is on the side of absorption. One of the areas I want us to do as the chair of finance, planning and economic affairs of the Council of Governors, we take exception with the finance bill, which is being pushed to Parliament, and I know there are so many negativities with that finance bill. The objective of Kenya Kwanza government was to spur economic growth. The objective of Kenya Kwanza government, from what the President has been talking about, is to improve the lives of Kenyans and the cost of living to come down. But looking at the proposals in the Finance Act, where taxes payee is going to be increased from 30 to 35%. We are going to have 3% deduction on housing. There is an increase in the fuel levy from a paltry 4% to 16%. What that tells you, it is going to be impossible for us to even imagine that the cost of living will come down. And that is why our position as the Council, we are now calling upon the National Assembly to stand up and be guided by the principle of consciousness, so that they don't push this agenda on partisan basis. National Assembly have a responsibility kuangalia maslahi ya watu wote. All the 50+ million Kenyans cannot have a very smooth living, especially if all these proposals are pushed through. We appreciate that the Kenya Kwanza government have an agenda to deliver. Lakini let that agenda be delivered without compromising on the lives and the cost of living. It's a transitional government. Let us have a balance. It's good to increase taxes, but not to over-increase taxes until you make the cost of living unbearable. That is my message, and we are going to talk about it and call upon the members of Parliament to stand up and be guided by their conscience, because they represent the 290+ our constituencies, and as our representatives, they should not approve the finance bill as proposed in entirety. They have to amend it so that they can balance between having programs for government being funded na pia having the lives of Kenyans and the cost of living coming down. Sisi kama governors wote, we had issued a notice to shut down counties last week, part 1, where we had demanded that the monies from the National Treasury for the month of February, March, and April, amounting to 94 billion Kenya shillings, be released. Pursuant of that shutdown notice, wiki iliyopita we had a meeting with the CS for National Treasury through an extraordinary meeting of council, ambayo National Treasury has given a commitment to release money for the month of February. March, according to the CS, should be released by the 15th of this month, ambayo ni wiki ijayo. The disbursement for March is around 29.5 billion Kenya shillings. Disbursement for February, hiyo ni 31.5 billion Kenya shillings. That one was released to our account revenue fund last week. But the challenge is once the money has been released to the account revenue fund, it will take another 2 weeks because of the processes ambazo we are now trying to challenge the control of budget. What we want the control of budget to do is to do her work and approve the requests from counties. The control of budget should not become an auditor. You cannot start auditing requests from county governments before the money is spent. The role of control of budget is clear, is to review and approve cash flow requests to counties. And when we make requests, it's in accordance with the budget. After we have spent the money, now the Office of the Auditor General will come and do the audit. So what we want to tell the control of budget, let us stick to her role, which is very clear in the Constitution and the PFM Act, being approval of requests from the 47 counties. And upon that approval, that is how the money now will move from the county revenue fund domiciled in Central Bank to the respective 47 counties' accounts. We want some bit of re-engineering in the Office of the Control of Budget. So far, we are not very happy with that office because of being the Office of the Control of Budget being turned into the Office of the Auditor General. Their responsibility is very clear. It is not to start auditing requests. It is to approve requests to facilitate the disbursement of monies from the county revenue fund to the facilities accounts. That is the position of the Council of Governors, and we want to see another reform in that Office of the Control of Budget is automation of the approvals. We don't want our representatives going out and going to Nairobi to follow up requests. That is taking us back 10 years ago. The purpose of that office, our constitutional office, is to facilitate devolution, and that is why we want the approval process to be automated. If the approval process of the requests is automated, then when money comes to the CRF account, within 24 or 48 hours, you will receive it. As we speak right now, we are yet to receive the development funds for the month of January. And yet, ukiangalia in the reports which have been given by the CS National Treasury, the monies were released 2 weeks ago. The only amount which has reached our facilities account is only for salaries. Na hiyo ilikuwa disbursement of January. COB is yet to approve development funds for the disbursement of January. Right now, we are talking about disbursement for February. And what we are saying, why can't you expedite approvals so that counties can absorb that money before the end of the financial year? So there's a lot of reforms which are supposed to be done in that office of the Controller of Budget.